Hi. This is MikiSunshine Creates, and I'm Miki. Welcome to part 2 of Kitting Up and Chit Chat, WIP&Chat, whatever you want to call it. I hope you enjoy what you're going to see. This is part 2. If you want to see part 1, I'm going to put somewhere up there. It's going to be a link that you could go and right to part 1 to watch that one first. If you're new to the channel and you like what you see and enjoy watching me, please subscribe and hit the bell so you're always notified when I upload a new video or go live. I think that's about it for now. So let's see what happened on my honeymoon. Let's watch some more. I mean, you know, when your cousin passes away, and he was so young. He was 35. I think I was 24, 25 at the time. I think I was about 10 years younger than him. It was, it's very sad, and it's very debilitating, and it kind of spoils your honeymoon a little bit. You know, I mean, it didn't spoil Joel's too much because he didn't know my cousin. I knew my cousin. He was the sweetest man I'd ever known. You know, I mean, he was a sweetheart. He was so kind. He married the wrong woman because he was a kind man who married a bitch. A status-seeking, money-grubbing bitch. And I will say that to her face because she left him after he was diagnosed with cancer. And she left him alone with leukemia. I mean, she could have stuck around. I mean, yeah. Okay, that's so much for that one. Anyway, Joel and I had our wonderful honeymoon, and we bought a house in North Miami Beach. Yeah, we were living in North Miami Beach, and we bought a house, and things were okay. He had a 16-year-old daughter, whom I loved dearly. She was a sweetheart. I loved his parents. We got along great. But he was very, very controlling. And my cousin came down to visit me one day. This is a cousin on my father's side. And he came down to visit several times. And one day he pulled me off to the side and he said, "Why are you letting him control you?" This was after my accident. Joel had expected me to be, "Oh, it's been a few years. You should be over your accident by now. You should be fine." Excuse me? I mean, he and my boss talked me into going back to work part-time, and I lost the disability insurance. I lost the insurance, period, because I was only part-time. Big mistake. Big mistake. But again, I let them control me. And my cousin said, "This is unlike you. This is not the girl I knew way back when. You were always independent, always did things your own way, and this and that and the other." And I said, "Yeah, but," and he said, "No buts about it." I said, well, I don't know what to do. And Joel used to threaten me all the time. He used to say, if you don't change, if you don't do this, I'm going to leave. Well, he said it one more time. I said, that's it. And I got up and walked away. The next time he saw me, I think I had my bags packed. And I said, you know, you keep threatening to leave me if I don't change, but you don't change either. You don't meet me halfway. You don't compromise. You tell me what to do. You don't ask me. You don't, you don't suggest. You don't do anything other than control the band. I can't take that anymore. I'm not asking you to change. Never have. But I'm leaving. I got up, I left. And I drove to my uncle's house, and I don't remember where he was living at the time. Somewhere in Broward. And I took the dog because I loved my Kino. I couldn't leave my Kino. She was such a sweetheart. I took the dog and went to my uncle's, and we were fine for a while. And then my uncle wanted my cousin out because it was becoming a little crowded in there. And I didn't know my cousin was going to be staying that long. So I tried to find another place to live, but it was hard finding a place that would take a dog. And she was a big dog. She was a long-haired Japanese Akita. So it was not easy finding a place that would take a dog that big. You know, small dogs, yeah. Why? Small dogs are the yappy ones. I said, this dog is so quiet, you have to search for her. She won't even bark when you call her name. And she wasn't. She's the laziest dog in creation. She'd crawl over to her food bowl. Literally. She was laying down, she'd just crawl with her belly on the floor to her food bowl. Oh man, what am I doing here? Having fun. I love kitting up. I don't know what's wrong with it. Some people don't like to do it. I have fun with it. But we finally found this townhouse to rent. Well, no, actually, at first we stayed in this, because it was kind of on the cheap side, but it was a beautiful hotel country club, but they wouldn't take the dogs. I had to kennel the dog, which I hated doing. I really did. But I had problems getting to work because I was having seizures in the morning. I was still brain damaged. My brain had not healed from that collision with a concrete post. The doctors had told me it'll take 7 to 10 years to reach maximum medical improvement, and even then, there could be more improvement down the road. I said, okay. But they were telling me that so as not to expect like a broken bone to be healed in a matter of months or years, you know. Joel couldn't understand that. And apparently neither could my boss. I would go into work at, 10 o'clock, because usually I'd wake up in the morning and I'd have a seizure. Just, It would just happen almost every morning. And I had asked him, is it okay if I'm only working 4 hours a day? Is it okay if I come in and work from 10 to 2? And he said, fine. I said, okay, I'll keep track of my hours so you know that I'm here. So I made up a little form, and I was the form girl. I made up forms for the entire office. I can't help it. I just love that word processor. Color me silly or nerd. But I kept this form, and every time I came in, I wrote down the exact time. And when I left, I wrote down the exact time. And I would bring it to him and say, would you initial this? I need to initial it. Because I had learned before then not to trust anybody with time. Especially when you're part-time, you really need to keep track of your hours. And you need to have people sign off on it. If it's not a machine that does it, you need to have your manager or somebody sign off on it. So I would have him sign off on it. 3807. Ooh. Pretty navy. Well, not navy. It's a purple blue? Purple blue? I don't know. But, we're at the hotel, resort, whatever it was. And I always would call when I knew I was coming in late. You know, I tried to make it there at 9 o'clock, but that wasn't always possible. So that's why I had asked him, is it okay that I come in at 10 o'clock? I will always call if I'm going to be late, you know, later than 9. But, you know, I have these seizures and they slow me down. And I can't always make it in on time. This is sure fine. He didn't care, you know, as long as I did the work. Well, apparently, one of the little bees in the office talked him into firing me. Excuse me. I called in. I said, I'm going to be, I'll put this in the wrong one. Or did I? No, I didn't say no. Okay. Is this the same? Wait a second. Are these the same? Oh my gosh. I think I made a boo-boo. But I'm not sure what the boo-boo is because you heard me say 3807. And this one says 792. And they look exactly the same color. Or do they? Oh, no. Oh gosh. See, this is what happens to me. There's two 792s. I think I may have screwed up. Uh-oh. I gotta get these all out now. This is not fun. 317. 38. 760, 938, 196, 31, 3807. Where's 3807? And why did I pull it out? Are we having fun yet? I'm just wondering. I hope you're having fun. I'm trying here, I really am. I'm screwing up. Probably because I'm talking at the same time. Any more left? Any more? Any more? No, this is them. 732, 413, 37.99, 414, 934. I probably should rewind this and just see what it was I said. 762, 317, 33.71. All right, this is not working. Any suggestions, guys? Because they're both, I think they're both dark blues. You know, when you look at the background color on the symbol. They're both dark blues. Oh boy. I'll be right back. Okay, I really do. I have to check this out because I made a boo-boo, and I will be back. And I'm back. Oh, yep. 3807. the two colors that I had mixed up. 3807 and 792. They're right next to each other on the DMC color chart because I have the booklet. And they look almost exactly alike. One's a tiny, itsy bitsy little lighter than the other. I couldn't tell. So it is what it is. As far as I'm concerned, they're the same color. So got that straightened out. Yeah, I did. I went back and I listened to the video that I had just done, you know, to see if I could figure out what was what. And then I got the bright idea of, let's look up the DMC chart. And I did. And I do. And there is a slight, this difference is just, it's too close to call. Let's put it that way. 3746. Should have listened to my instincts. But, oh well. It is what it is. Anyway, get back to the story. I'm sure you all want to know what happened when my boss fired me. I've been working for him for what, 13 years? It was not very nice. It really wasn't very nice. So I go to apply for unemployment, and I get denied. I have no idea why. I'd worked for 13 years. I was out of work. And even as a part-time employee, because I worked for the company full-time before and everything, I was entitled to unemployment. The reason, when I asked for a reason, was because I was late too often. I did call for an appeal. I set up a hearing with the arbitrator, mediator, whatever you want to call him. And I asked my boss, you know, what I got the chance to examine, you know, each of the whoever, but he brought my coworker with him, and she was the honest one. I knew she would back me. asked him, why did you fire me? This is because you were late too often. So I turned to her and I said, how often did I come in before 10 o'clock in the morning? She says, not often. I said, did you ever hear any objection from Mr. Sills, Mr. whoever, I don't want to say his name, of me coming in late? No. I took out my worksheets, my timesheets, and I handed them over to my ex-boss, and I said, is this your initials? He said, yes. I handed them to the arbitrator, the mediator, whatever you want to call him. I said, as you can see, I wrote down every single time I came in and I had him initial it. I never heard a word that if I didn't come in earlier, I was going to be fired. I never got warning. I just called up one day, because I said I always called up when I knew I was going to be a little bit later than 10. I called up one day, and I'd had a seizure, and he said, don't bother coming in. I said, now, I didn't get 2 weeks notice. I know I'm part-time, but he's the one that insisted I go part-time. I couldn't work. I had a rough time working, even when I was there. And the mediator said, you'll get your unemployment. And we walked out of the meeting room. And I turned to him and I said, why? Because I'd always thought we were friends. I'd been to his house. He'd been to my house. I always thought we were not just boss and employee, but we were friends. He says, I don't know. He says, I don't know why. I said, well, that's that. And I walked out, and that was that. I couldn't understand why he would do something like that. I mean, that was so opposite of the man I knew that I was floored by his behavior, the fact that he would do that. When you know somebody for a long time and they behave in a way that is completely contradictory to the person you've known for years. Of course, I mean, I understand. You don't really know anybody and everything about everybody. Look at Jeffrey Dahmer. Nice boy. Yeah, nice boy. But still, it hurt. It did hurt. It hurt that he would do that to me. Ooh, 666. No, 666. Where is 666? 666. This is such a bright, pretty red. I mean, that's red to the nth degree. I don't think it gets any red. It's not orange. It's not pink. It's not yellow. It's red. Fire engine red. I think fire engines aren't as red as this. We love it. I think, I don't know why, but for some reason, we love the fact that it's called 666. Red is the sign of the devil. Oh, we have an AB here. Oh, look at that pretty AB. It's yellow. And it looks orange in the camera. Don't ask me why. But it's yellow. I hope you guys are able to hear me okay, because the camera and microphone are all the way up here, and I'm down here, and I don't know how well it picks up. If it doesn't, I'm screwed. What can I say? Okay, what is this? 130. Of course, it's got to be. It's number 3. let's see where number 3 is. Oh, God, that's gorgeous. That's a beautiful yellow. Number 3 is around here and up there and highlighting the teddy bear. It's here, it's highlighting the penguins. They're so cute. Where else is it? Yeah, that's, you know, it's pretty much where I wanted them. But I'm going to put some, if there's no reds, I'm going to put some reds. I don't know what. Yeah, they're green, blue, yellow, and white. So I'm going to put some reds in here. This yellow, the yellow ABs in the flames too. But man, this is pretty. I think I'm going to replace K with, K is 666. I think I'm going to replace 666 with 666 AB. I have plenty of that. Okay, let's bring these back. So we see some ideas of where there's also, I don't know if you see the yellow candles right there. Those are 3s and highlighted 3s. So yeah, we got a lot of yellow AB. Very pretty color. Okay, number 3, go back. 947. Oh, we got some bright colors here. But then it is Christmas, right? Anyway, we need another story because I'm getting bored. I'm bored by my life story. Damn, well, I've lived it too many times. I repeat myself all the time. Please forgive me, but nothing happens to me anymore on a day-to-day basis. So I don't have stories to tell. I don't have children, so I don't have stories to tell about them. I was not that close with my nieces, so I don't have stories to tell about them. I don't go out anymore unless it's to the doctor or, you know, somewhere I have to go. Because I just don't want to. You know, I'm happy at home. Yeah, I am. I'm happy here. This is my happy place. So things don't happen to me, and that leaves me very little to talk about. You know, I don't watch TV anymore. I do read books, but the books I read, I don't know. I may start talking about some of the books I read because I like them. They're paranormal, cozy mysteries. Lighthearted, comedic, sarcastic, romantic, the predictable. But I love them. I don't know why. I have no excuse for such bad taste. But I don't think they're bad taste. They're well written. 38.54. Come on, 38. Oh, there we go. I don't. They're well written, so it's not as if they're not. And I love a strong, sassy, snarky, sarcastic heroine protagonist. I love that. And most of these are. Even the ones written by men, they usually center around a woman who doesn't know she's a witch, and everything bad happens to her, and then she moves, or she goes to this witchy town and learns she's a witch. She inherits something, a bakery, a bookstore, or whatever. Then there's there's a murder, and she meets the sheriff or the reporter or somebody, like that. And there's he's a hunk, naturally. And of course, she doesn't think she's beautiful, one of those, even more self-deprecating than I am. And, things go from there. And, there are slight changes, different characters. The murders are, I don't know how they come up with so many unique ways to murder someone. I mean, when you're talking paranormal, of course, there's always more than one way, because there's, you can spell them to put a curse on them or something. You can always do something. There's always something. You don't need a knife or a gun or something to hit them over the head with. But they're funny. And usually our protagonist, she's snarky. Oh, she is so sarcastic that some of the things she says can blister the paint off of a wall. I'm not saying there's a lot of colorful language. In some of them there are. And some of the stories, some of the books are definitely not for children. I mean, you will hear the F-bomb drop and other words of words that we say all the time but never admit. And it's true, we don't admit that we curse. I'm sorry. Drop a 10-pound sack of flour on your foot and you're going to say a dirty word. I'm sorry, you are. And for me, that first word out of my mouth is F. Or damn. I mean, damn's not bad, but you shouldn't be saying things like that. I don't care. I mean, I'm from New York. I'm from New York, and I will say I don't give an S. I really don't. I grew up in New York with truck drivers and cab drivers. And if you've ever been to New York or know about New York, if you don't curse back, they're going to cut in front of you. They're going to take your parking place. They're going to do everything. I mean, you could take the girl out of New York. You can't take the New York out of the girl. I'm sorry, you can't. I've tried. My mother tried. She did. She did get me to stop sounding like Brooklyn. I still have a New York accent that comes out from time to time. But I also, in my opinion, have a newscaster accent. Very clear, very precise, very level. Except when I go up here. And I make Rebecca laugh. She loves that squeak. I don't know why I do that. She keeps asking me, why do you do that? I don't know. I am who I am. People are who they are. And when they show you who they are, believe them. People will show you who they are, not by what they say, but mostly by what they do and what they say. But if they tell you they're a certain way, believe them. I'm one of those people that you can tell me to go to hell. You can tell me to shut up. And just that way, you could say I'm being an ass or a bee. You can say these things to me because I know who I am. And I know my limitations and I know my irritations. I love that. That's a good one. I know my irritations. I do. I know what irritates people. or what can if you're of a certain type. Oh, I used to love to irritate my brother. That was a lot of fun. Not so much now. He doesn't. I don't see him often enough to irritate him anymore. But it is fun to irritate him. There's a wrong color in here. Uh-oh, we have a stray. Wanted to come over for some nookie. The blue. Wanted to come over for some nookie with the yellow. It's a very pale yellow. Yeah, that's about the color. Oh, anyway. What was I talking about? Oh, the books, the snarky girls. I mean, I love it. Right now, I just finished reading the 4th series in the Paranormal Police Department. Now, in the first one, Las Vegas Paranormal Police Department, there is a lot of sex. Because apparently what they do to you is they, when you become a cop, whatever they do enhances your libido. So there's a lot of, read it, there's a lot of talk between one part and another. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't carry that through on the rest of the books, because I thought it was hysterical, but I guess not. Oh, another one. What's this with all the strays? Now, she wanted in with the boys. I'm telling you, there's a lot of hokey pokey going on here. Hokey pokey? Hokey, whatever. We all know I'm just a silly girl. 3830. There we go. So, again, I forgot where I am. So, I was saying maybe, like I said, maybe I will start talking about my books. This last one that I read, well, let's start with the first in the series, which is Las Vegas Paranormal Police. If you don't like innuendo and or talk about body parts, you're not going to like this book. But the story itself is fascinating. There is a whole supernatural world that lives on another plane that they call the netherworld. And up here, they call it topside. And yes, there is a hell. It's a funny one, and you do not want to be on the level of lust, because it's filled with satyrs who just want to... I told you, it's funny. It's a funny book. And, I just finished the New York, and it's about the last 2 rare tigers in the world. They're an endangered species. The last 2 were, it's a shame. And one of them is gay. And actually, I'm not going to say. Because you never know, you might want to read it. That one is not. The subsequent ones to Las Vegas are not. They're not as down and dirty as that one was. That one was a little on the dirty side. But fascinating story. Really cool. And I like Dex. That's our hero. Dex, he's adorable. anyway, 33.25. 33.25. That's pretty much me. I go live every Friday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, but I don't. I give a better show when I have Rebecca on, or I have another guest on. When I'm by myself, I just say the same thing. Ooh, another AB, DAC, Diamond Art Club. In case you're wondering, all of their ABs are below 154. They name them, they give them a number of 100, 130. This one is 101. 141 is always white AB. So they're always, if you see those, and they always make them the first numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, those are ABs. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sometimes they have 2, sometimes they have 3, 4, 5. Rarely will they have more than that. Which is why we buy bling. We go to dpwithsparklers.com and go to Tmall and buy extra bling that we want, extra ABs and glows and crystals and whatever it is that we want. I mean, there are so many choices. 38.64. Oh, that's the last one. I should know that. Or we go to diamondpaintingdrills.com and we ask Alyssa for help. If I can't find it at one place, I'll go to the other. I think just in a quick, I'm not going to say. No, I'm not picking sides. I love them both. And for regular drills, when this place almost always has the drill color you need, and that is Diamond Drills USA. They almost always have the right color, the color you need. I've even gotten 310 from them when I got a batch of really bad 310s from DAC, and I told DAC this, and instead of sending me new bags from their stash, because I said, "There's your stash. This is terrible. These are almost all bad. I mean, they're all misshapen. They have nubs. They're broken. They're in terrible shape. So they must have put it in order with Diamond Drills USA, because that's where it came from, the replacements. And when I went over there to take a look at their site, because I'd never been there, my jaw dropped. They have a lot of colors, the regular colors. They also carry spark, crystal and ABs and all that, but not the way DP with Sparklers or DiamondPaintingDrills.com. They're the queens of sparkle and shine. And I will promote one of them only because my best friend Rebecca at Crafting and Crime is an affiliate. There's no discount, but she gets a little commission, tiny commission when you go to DiamondPaintingDrills.com. She's an affiliate with them. With a lot of stuff. So, go if you have the chance, go to one of her videos. In her descriptions, almost every description will have a link to DiamondPaintingDrills.com. Or you can just write in DiamondPaintingDrills.com. I don't know. But that, it helps her. Rebecca is now out of work. She's what she calls fun employed. In other words, she's trying to start a new business, a resale business, going to garage sales and thrift stores and buying things that people don't recognize as having value for a pretty cheap price, and then putting it up on eBay because there's people across the country that can't get a hold of things like that, what they want. You can pick up a lot of, if you're into collecting certain things, you're into collecting cloisonne, or you're into collecting antique glass, or you're into collecting Beanie Babies. You can find a lot of those on eBay for a good price. It's less than what the person who found it pays. But unless you want to go running around to every thrift store in the country, and every garage sale in the country, and every Goodwill and Salvation Army store in the country. What number is this? 071. eBay is the next best place to find something. And not all of them use it for auction. A lot of people, they just put a buy now price, And I've gotten a lot of things. I've gotten, my brother buys a lot of electronic pieces on there, especially for his Apple, if he needs something, for his Mac. Yeah, he's the one that first told me about eBay, and that if I wanted to get a good deal on a drive, let's say, this is back when I was working with PCs, and I wanted a new hard drive, don't go to Amazon, go to eBay. And he was right. I compared them both, but he was right. eBay had the better prices. Now, it's true, you can get scammed. You have to be careful. Even the buyers get scammed. I mean, the sellers get scammed. Believe me, they try. But if you're careful, and eBay has put up a lot of new protections for buyers and sellers, I mean, they made it, a lot of people would go in and say, they make an offer. Now, if you accept an offer, that item becomes unavailable for 7 days. So if they don't pay you for it, you gotta wait 7 days to keep, to put it back up. Rebecca had a number of those that occurred. And then they said, I need you to email me or we'll talk about it, or you can pay me in gift certificate. What? That's a scam. If they don't have a credit card and they're not paying directly through eBay, don't accept it. Same thing is if you have a problem with eBay as a buyer, they know how to make it right, because they get upset when their sellers are scamming people. But yeah. What else do we have to talk about? I don't think we have to talk about anything else. I think we've gone on more than long enough. I'm probably going to cut some of this out. And just, we'll go on from there. I have to still sit here and see what extra ABs I need and want. So I'm going to say, in the meantime, be good, be kind, be nice. It doesn't hurt. And it doesn't cost you anything. But most importantly, be safe. Please do what you have to do to keep yourself and others safe. We're not over this yet when we're all in this together. So I would appreciate a little help, because I get sick easily. And there's a lot of other people out there who are autoimmune. But until the next time, arrivederci.